So, as I said, this is the last truth be told, so I'm going to break the rules. When Nina and Johanna were going through the cards at the beginning, I tell the kind of stories where you trade a cow for magic beans. And this is one of those stories. And this is my thanks to these two amazing women and to the amazing community they have created together, so thank you both very much. You see that once, long ago in Japan, an old storyteller made his way along the road. Now his kimono was stained with the dust of his travels, and his sandals were caked in mud, and as the night came down on him, he could feel that cold seep into his bones. But he smiled. For there, silhouetted against the setting sun, was a dojo, a school of swordsmanship, where young samurai might come and apprentice with a great master. And in those days, there was a tradition that any traveler who appeared at the gates of a dojo come sundown had but to cross swords with a student of that school, and they would be given their bowl of rice, their cup of tea, and their place by the fire. And he knocked on those gates, and they were opened by a young student who bowed low. "Grandfather, what can we do for you tonight?" "Boy, I am here to challenge the master of your school, that I might earn my bowl of rice and my place by your fire." "Sir, honorable sir, perhaps it is different where you come from, but here you need only cross wooden swords with me, merely to show your respect for the house, and you will be given all you need." "Boy, perhaps your ears are full of something, or perhaps you did not listen. I challenge the master of your house as I am a master of my craft." Sir, I must tell you that when our master fights, he fights only with sharpened steel, and he leaves corpses on the ground behind him." "Boy, are you being insolent or just stupid? Where I go in my travels after this school, if your master does not present himself to me, I will protest you all, students and master alike, cowards to everyone I meet, and I meet many people." Now the young boy did not know what to do. And he invited the old man in. He sat him by the fountain. He gave him water to wash his hands and his face. And he walked through the hallways of his school until he came to his master's chambers. And there he bowed low and he explained, "Sir, there is an old man at the gate. His hands tremble. He doesn't even wear a sword, and he would challenge you for a bowl of rice, a cup of tea, and a mat to sleep on." And when the master had heard the story, he stood. And he took his katana, his long sword, from its place of honor. He slipped it into the obi around his waist, and he turned to his young student. "I have been challenged, and as I too am a master, I will meet his challenge." And he began to walk through the hallways of his school, and as he did, his students saw him, and they saw that sword, and they knew what it meant. And by the time the master samurai stepped into the courtyard of his school, it was lined with his students. And there was an old man seated like a rock in a river, waiting for him. "I am told that you challenge me, sir. You do not wear a sword. One of my students will provide one for you." And a senior student took his own sword from his waist. He offered it to the old man, who took it. "Shall we begin?" Now the master samurai looked this old man up and down. He took his stance, he placed his hand upon his sword, and he took one step forward. But as he did, that old man held up two fingers. "Once, long ago and far away across the sea, at the edge of a cliff sat a house with a red door, and before the door of that house sat a girl with hair as black as midnight and eyes like falling stars." As his words died away, the master samurai took his hand from his sword. He bowed low before that old man. "Our duel is done." And he turned to walk from the courtyard, but as he did, his students began to whisper, "How can this be? Our master to surrender without even drawing his own sword? What is this?" And the master turned and he held up his hand for silence, and it was complete. "My students, have I not told you time and time and time again that to be a warrior, a man must be present in every moment of battle? This old man, whose hands shook, who did not even carry a sword nor draw it, took me to a place I have never been. He showed me sights I have never seen, and in that time, with but a flick of his wrist, he would have cut me down. He took me long ago and far away, and yet he brought me safely home again. And for that gift, the gift of my life, he will have my place tonight at dinner. He will sleep in my bed while I fast and I meditate on the ashes of the fire, on the gift that he has given me. And so it has been, and so it will be for all those that tell stories and all those who have the heart to listen. Thank you.